Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Supreme Ruler Ultimate Episode number 6. Alright, so Vietnam is now free from the communist influence. And I deployed, off-camera, all our forces that needed repairs, which is quite a few of them. I just clicked this little Send for Repairs button. They're probably all going to head over to, I don't know, maybe they'll head over to Midway? I don't know where exactly they're going to end up, but they'll go back to home, some kind of home territory. I'll have to track them down after the fact. In fact, I'm not even sure I should have done that. We can probably just undo that by, instead of, well, let's just give them a sea transport order to, oh, okay, I can do sea transport, I think, if I just make sure I grab the ground forces. And let's send them over to Japan. They're just going to really pile up over here, and that's going to be interesting. So these are not in orange. You can see they're in the light green, which means they've been given orders. This one as well. Okay, good. So I sent these guys over to Korea, and we have, surprisingly, I found, I don't know how or where or why or what the heck is going on here, but I have 2 Skytrain units in Vietnam, and who knows how they got here. They're going to be returned to be scrapped, but we're going to have to follow a bit of a roundabout route to do that. They're going to have to jump from... They don't have very good range, and I'm going to do it as quickly as possible. So they'll go from the Philippines to either to Guam or Saipan, and then they'll go over to... What is this? Got to be Marshall Islands? What are you? Wake Island. Okay. Is this Marshall Islands down here? Kwajalein. I don't know what that is. Oh, maybe not all the islands are modeled. Who knows? It would make sense if they aren't. I mean, actually, for the World War II scenario, I guess it's important that you have enough. But, oh, in that World War II scenario, that is definitely going to be our next series. It's absolutely a blast. Again, you have the same problem as with Hearts of Iron or any of the other World War II games that have this like really strategic production economic layer to them. That even though you want to continue the war and play with all the economy and stuff after the war ends, usually the world's in such a weird shape that wars going everywhere, and basically the resolution of the war is really hard to get done from a scripting standpoint. Okay, so in Hawaii, another thing that I'm going to do is scrap a lot of this stuff. The combat engineers are all going to stay, but these 3 troops which made it back from Japan are going to be scrapped. And this Banshee is not going to be scrapped. It's moving. I think that these... the F-80s and this RF-80, which is also just an F-80, just recon version, those are all going to get scrapped. And I think over here I neglected to scrap a few units. Like, okay, here's one. This guy can get scrapped. And... do we have anybody else that needs to be scrapped? Well, we have our 2 aircraft. They haven't started flying yet. So, I mean, we can actually just unpause and let things start to run. I think at the very end of the last episode, we did 3 diplomatic exchanges. I guess one with Nicaragua. Oh, no, this is Guatemala. Mexico. And, okay, those 4 units. Looks like those airplanes that I just mentioned have all scrapped themselves. We have a breakthrough modern clothing. So this just increases our consumer goods output by 1%. Now, mind you, we still have a really bad situation as far as the unemployment situation goes. So it's not quite time for us to start building things, but when that time comes. Alright, I got that last. Oh, that was the infantry in Boston, I think. But we should have a bunch of infantry scrapping in Hawaii as well. So they're moving up there. There's 3 normal infantry, which will be scrapping very soon. So we're finally getting the military into tip-top quality shape. I do have to say, we probably do need a larger military than what we have right now. And I try to make it to like the 1960s point when you get Green Berets and just overload on Green Berets, but we'll have to see if that actually... is a viable situation. Wait. I hear bombs dropping. And that scares me. Is anybody at war? Oh my gosh, the Soviet Union has killed freaking 800 units, which is UK and French. Make it stop. Oh God, make it stop. So yeah, the reason they do this is for some reason they're trying to get into this ocean. I don't know why or how. There's not even a path for them to go. I've checked it several times. They get stuck by narrow rivers no matter what. So there's no way that they can actually even go anywhere. So I don't understand what they're thinking. But anyways, I hope that... There is a mod. I'm going to mention it one more time because it really is useful to do. I mean, okay, it's not the end of the world. It means that the weight of the NATO alliance rests more heavily on the United States' shoulders when you have the British and French units being so stupid as to do this. But there is a mod that basically makes this narrow river as well. And then I think Leningrad has some naval capacity. And if any of the other places along the river have naval capacity, yep, there goes another one. They all the naval capacity gets bumped up further, like here, or I don't know, somewhere else, so that the Russians don't lose that capacity, they just have it move somewhere else. And I think, frankly, that's a really good mod. I've never even played with it, but I know of its existence now, and that's enough for me to want it. What are you doing? You are trying to make your way... What the heck? Not really sure. Just manually right-click them. Okay, that worked. They need to be repaired. I think they were being sent back for repairs. Everything's working out here now. All of our troops have cleared off. Yep. Now let's see. We have 4 and 5, which are transports with their. They have a range of about 3,000, 3670. So they can make it here, no problem. How far can they make it? Illuminate the fields for me. 3120. So they can make it here. They can make it here. Okay. Well, 4, 5, go. One thing I did is I turned off with Shift P the unit paths. This is supposed to reduce lag slightly. At least one commenter, one user commented in the videos that might help. So I'm trying that because unless we need those, like during war, we might have to turn that on every now and then. But you know, the hotkeys are very available, pretty easy to use. Another one I use a lot is S, supply map mode. Woo! Especially when you're at war, but obviously right now we're doing okay. And speaking of the time, we can actually move forward. I'm going to go to the second highest until things really settle into place. Okay, we have more diplomatic offers, probably all the same. So agriculture, I mean, it's still a good deal. It's better than what we can get. So we'll go ahead and keep doing it. Oh yeah, that's good. And that's almost 2 to 1. So Canada, that's a welcome offer. We don't really hurt for anything right now. Just have to make sure our rubber reserves don't run out too quickly. Military goods looks good, but we definitely want to stockpile that. You know, yeah, our production cost would be 7 if we were to pay it, but we don't. The world market has gone down to 3, so I think we might need to do some bulk purchasing here. It says excellent, but I'm pretty sure that after we buy even like 50,000, it'll be down to poor. So we'll see what happens at the end of this day. We're at 678. Approvals at 32.7. That's not bad. Yeah, so 678. It's down to poor. What was that? 20? So about 20,000 is all it took. We'll drop this back down to like 3. Well, that's on the low side of 4. That's like 3.9 maybe. So we don't need the uranium. I just want to start stockpiling it because we eventually will use it. Anyway. Alright, so over here we have our the Bearcat reconnaissance airplanes, which have, you know, good vision, but on top of that, good dogfighting ability, air to air. And I want to get these guys, the Banshees, over there as well. Although, you know, I'm not sure we should actually get all of our best air to air, so our air superiority over. Okay, we'll keep accepting these deals. Okay, 2.6%. I just wanted to see how that was going. So, not amazing. I tell you what, these Banshees are really decent. So, I have this weird, like, maybe this is OCD. This is just how I like to play things. You can scrap units for money, obviously, but I like to keep my best units off the front lines. I like to try to wear out the weaker units, and then when they die, I'm like, okay, well, I was going to scrap those anyways, so it's no skin off my bones. And on top of that, they gain some value, I'm sure. I don't keep units that are completely valueless. Those would just get scrapped, because if they're valueless in combat, they still have some value being scrapped. So everything is kind of a min-max game in my head. And I'm not trying to think too hard about it. It's just the way my brain works that I think about those things to begin with. Alright, so let's move up a little bit of support. I thought I moved some guys over to Pyeongtaek. Pyeongtaek. Anyway, we want to move some stuff over here. And another thing is we do want to sell the Koreans some more of our artillery, I think. The old stuff, the M2A ones. Yeah. They're very cheap. We'll take the money for it. We'll ask what they want to give us for it. They want us to give us 6. So I don't want to take 6. I think I'll take, like, well, much less than what they are willing to pay. Because remember, it's still, this is like somewhat inflated. And I think I'll also go over to East Germany and give East Germany some artillery. Now, the Germans actually have pretty good units. They have a really good tech tree. I would say that you would be very happy just dealing with the Germany's home units. I really like their Tiger 3 tank, for example. Even though it's so my main multiplayer buddy in this, Alekius, he would say that he prefers the what's the M102-2? The M102 A2 Conqueror 2 or something like that. It's the upgraded version of the M102. I still think it's the Tiger 3. First of all, it looks cool. But then on top of that, it's got pretty good stats. It's better not urban. So the one thing, the Conqueror, which we'll get to eventually. Oh, I love the tech tree in this game. I really like it. But the one thing, the American tanks, heavy tanks that we get, that's the last heavy tank, I think, maybe. Okay, 103. How many do I want? Maybe 5 of this? Yeah, I'll take 5. So we'll do this. We'll give them, how many are we giving them? A bunch. Probably too many, but just go ahead and take that. They probably won't lose. In fact, the funny thing, we kind of want them to lose a little bit. Because we want China, and if we're really lucky, we want Russia to get involved. So yeah, they accepted it, and they took, wow, that is kind of a lot. I probably overdid it. And I really should sell the Pershings too. I think did I already scrap them? I don't think so, but off camera I was thinking about it a lot. And I was like, you know what, those Pershings, I don't think they're good bang for your buck. I mean, the Easy 8s, they satisfy everything we need. And I don't know, they don't have the heart attack that the Pershings have. And as we move further into the game, more and more, especially of the armies that we may face, like from Russia, are going to become just a lot more hard targets. Like the infantry eventually becomes hard targets, even so. It's not really the case with North Korea. I don't know. Alright, so Rangers. Rangers lead the way. Well, that'll never get old. It's just in my head. That's when you say Rangers, that's the first thing I think of. Okay, so here's all of our forces from Vietnam. And I don't know, these guys should actually replenish on their own eventually. Let's move any of the injured parties out. And actually I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to say anybody who's injured stays and everyone else goes. So we can move these guys directly there. I'm pretty sure that's where the port is. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with it. I don't know why. I think they should repair on their own. This guy's veteran status. Silver is first, and then it's bronze. I guess maybe that's just a gray, not a silver, but kind of looks silver to me. We only have one unit in this group that's not damaged. Same with this one. Everyone here is pretty much damaged. And everyone here is damaged. Okay, well. These guys have seen better days. And I don't want to put too many troops onto the island. We can probably shift some of our forces to Taiwan as well. I kind of lost track of who's our ally and who's not. That's kind of a lot of agriculture, but in theory it's saving us money, so I'll keep buying it. We don't have anything else to do with our money anyways. Okay, so are we building research centers? I believe we are. Oh, they're... what? Oh, okay. I had the wrong people selected. Yeah, the ones in Seattle are just about done. There's ones in Pasadena. So let's go ahead and move this whole group of units up to Alaska, where we will get one research center. I'm going to put it there. I don't always, but I like the idea of putting it there because let's actually sea transport them just so they don't run out of supply in Canada. There's a lot of... I mean, you can see there should be color. Color means good supply. The darker color, the better. And you can see that there's just none. These guys are probably all dead. So, not dead, but not in good shape. Oh my gosh, not again. What? Ah! It started! Sorry, that was very loud, but... okay, well, we'll condemn their war. And we have to declare war. Not that I'm not okay with that. I'm plenty okay with that. So we'll declare war immediately. And here we go. So, wow. This, I mean, the pacing of this game is working out perfectly. There's not a dull moment. However, oh yes, they want to give us rubber. That's fantastic. I actually want to, I know these guys are my allies, but I give them a lot. They will be taking more money from me than I'm taking from them in the long run. But because I need the rubber so badly, I want to try to do this agreement. Something like this. Will they let me? Actually, forget that. Even, whoops. Clear that offer. I want to do a 90-day thing so that we really take the rubber. Now they have basically 3,000 for 90 days would be all that they have. And they're going to gain a lot in that time period anyway. So best offer that, 138, I'm fine with that. Let's let them accept that first before we take any more. And that'll keep our rubber situation in hand. Now I think, unfortunately, oh. Wait, is India just straight going to Warsaw Pact leaning? I don't think I can bring them back. I have tried. Believe me, I've tried. But I don't think it's possible. Let's influence Pakistan. This is the one thing I forgot to do, is kind of like influence people the way I want to influence them. So we'll influence Spain, get them to our side. They're already friendly, so I guess we don't need to influence them anymore. Again, I don't think you can get them into an alliance, but we're almost there. Now, this game obviously, I don't know if this is obvious, but it does allow you to break your treaties. It should have been obvious because I would just... my mutual defense pact was invoked when North Korea attacked South Korea. I could have declined, or I basically could have just done nothing. But I didn't, because, well, you know, I really do want to fight that war. I could actually fight that war by proxy, even if I didn't have any kind of defense pact or mutual agreement to defend each other. Because if we're allies, you can always do a proxy war, which is what we're actually going to see. So I'm now at war, or I should be. Okay, I'm not there yet because my order actually has to go through. So one thing I want to do is just watch this war closely and make sure that the South Koreans don't lose too much territory. In fact, let's go and move our forces into somewhat advanced positions. Okay, so let's be smart about it. Let's move this guy. So that's the one place where there's not high. Let's move him here. I do want support on the far northeast side. Alright, let's move some people into positions. So you guys advance up the road. And you guys advance, I think, all the way to this town. We'll see if we can hold this line, like something like this. Let me kind of see what the Koreans will lose if they lose these first things. They're going to lose a fortification. That's still okay. Nothing too useful. This military base, I don't think that it matters if they lose that. We probably don't want to lose this city. This has, what, 2 agriculture? That's not a big deal. Okay, so we probably could lose that. We definitely don't want to lose Seoul. Air base, land production, those are things you don't want to give up. And then actually Seoul, the capital, surely do not want to lose that. So we're definitely going to garrison that in a big way. And we don't want to lose this port even. So the good news is it's across a little bit of a narrow river. So a lot of the armor and stuff can't come across. And if anything else does, it's going to take a big penalty, I believe. So we moved some rangers. I think they're moved here. Yeah, we're going to move 2 more advanced forward. So 2-2. This guy's going over there. We probably could keep him. They're not as good, obviously, in these close quarters. Ah. So this is not close quarters. This is close quarters, but this is not. So we might put the tank there even. I don't want to keep them far forward because I don't want to do any fighting in the very beginning. I really want them to actually do damage to take the Koreans down a notch. Because what I found is if you don't lull the Soviets and the Chinese into a sense of superiority, or gosh, I don't know, I suddenly blinked on the normal sense of security. What is that typical phrase people say? I want to lull them into a sense of security, which means that they'll bring their forces in, and once they commit, they commit. They commit to that proxy war, but sometimes they don't. And usually those times when they haven't, it's been when South Korea is winning by a lot. It doesn't seem like they're interested in getting involved in the conflict if it's not going the North Koreans' way. So we have this dual sword. We're balancing this whole situation on a knife's edge because there's also a possibility if the South Koreans are losing too much that they. I mean, whoa. So we're not at war. Did they? No. Okay. Tensions are heightened. War declared. Yep. But that was to protect our integrity, which I'm not sure it worked. Treaty integrity is 79.7. I don't understand. Was it 79.7 earlier? I always feel like it drops even though I honored my treaty. It should go up. If we honor a defense pact, we should have an increase in the treaty. Whatever. Alright, well, let's see how things are going. Should I bring my... we can just go slow for now. Should I bring in my air superiority? My interceptors? I do have them hotkeyed for just this reason. Although... okay, these guys have landed. Is there like a military base? There is. Okay, so just unload your troops here. And then we don't need to scrap those though. Just want to scrap these. And that should mean that they go there. Good. See how things going in Korea. I know that probably that's what most people are interested in seeing right now. Alright, if you're this far south, we might decide to run an air patrol. We'll wait to see what happens. So there's a lot of enemy forces. I know that we gave the Koreans a lot of artillery. Actually, that's the reason why I didn't give them a lot of artillery. Artillery is the worst one for them to hold out with, because then if my units get involved, the Koreans are really happy just to sit back with their artillery and let me do all the frontline fighting. So I should be selling them Pershings and stuff like that, because then, you know, they won't be able to just sit around and do nothing. They have to get involved if they want to do any fighting. Okay, so that was a success. We'll take this one as well. Canada's just offering more agriculture. I kind of want to take a second here to take a look at the units that they're using. Those do look like Pershings, actually. What could those be? Yeah, they are. Huh. Did I sell the them Pershings already? Or are they just using them? Looks like a Sioux. Why do I want to say a 152? I don't know. Anti-tank units, so those are actually going to do a pretty good job against the Pershings. A lot of units are involved here. I mean, you can see engineering battalions, artillery, which we sent them. And the artillery is going to be pretty good against both. Okay, there's... that artillery, I think, is the stuff we gave them. The artillery should be good against both units. Okay, new alliance formed. Turkey and South Korea. Interesting. So Turkey's now obviously swinging very, very much in favor of NATO. They're allying with well, I guess they already allied with us, so that was already a thing. I think I'm going to get 3 units to move up here just so they don't lose that. And the biggest thing we can do if we want to bring in support, I've been playing a World War II Germany campaign, so I keep moving over to Europe instinctually. No, what I want is the peacemakers over here. There they are. So these, I think they have the range 6,400. I think they have the range to just jump across the Pacific in one go. I'm just going to trust that they can. So we'll see. We'll see. Did they? I can actually tell. Oh, they didn't have the range for it. Let me just pause real fast and verify. 6,400 or so. Yeah, that was just at the limit. But the reason why I think they didn't have the range for it is because they exchanged their bombs for extra fuel. So when they go red like this, it means that you can see right around here, it's going to say 0 out of 444. And you can see right next to that, the fuel canister is 1,400 out of 500. I mean, essentially what that means is they went to their like rebasing configuration. It's really nice that the game has such a thing. So they can make it all the way over here, no sweat. Where we actually already have... Oh, okay, so we already rebased a couple. And we rebased there. What about here? God, we have rebased everywhere. We're going to move here and move this unit forward then. Because... yeah, we can move there. The peacemakers need some place to fly. So this is 1 and this is 2, but the funny thing is these are also F-80Cs. Huh. I guess I'll call these guys... So 2... Where's 3? Let's just call 2, 3, and call these guys 2. So we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, and then 4 ought to be one of the peacemakers. We don't want to use them except for in emergencies, though, because they will just completely obliterate the South Koreans. So what you see right now is there are no non-South Korean flags. What we're hoping to see is a mix of both Chinese and Russian. I know I'm not really watching the front, and maybe I should. And since we're not really fighting either, let's see, as soon as I have my units in place, I mean, there's a lot of units that have to get grounded out for... This is just too tempting. Let's make our first air patrol with our our F-82 twin Mustangs. Just a hilarious thing. Alright, go up here. I think you'll catch that unit. Yeah, look at that. Just instant death. That was great. That was very satisfying. What I want to do, this is another trick. Oh, very important to know. Go to your rules of engagement and turn off engage ground targets. So these guys actually have a really decent ground attack ability. I don't want them to waste that at all, because then the ground units can use their close attack to counterattack. No, what I want you guys to be doing is only air attacks. Now, these F-80Cs are even better. Like, okay, they're like legitimate tactical bombers, right? So that's the whole point, is that they have a high value here. So they're kind of like a backup in terms of air superiority. So I'm going to use them much more in the role of tactical bombing. So they are definitely allowed to hit both air and ground. And something like the B-36, I mean, it doesn't even have, I'm pretty sure, it doesn't even have a ground attack rating. So let's let this unit become, so this one will be 4, this one will be 5, and this one will be, whoops, this will be 6. So I'm pretty sure they don't have a ground attack rating, or yeah, air attack, so you probably could just set the rules of engagement to have these guys not attack. Oh, look, they don't even have the ability. Incompatible. Great. So the game already knows. You wouldn't even, I wouldn't set it anyway, because it's like, okay, well, they're not going to do any damage. They're not going to engage air forces, so. It's quite hard to tell who's winning this. From a land standpoint, I think the North Koreans have pushed in the north, as they usually do. That's not uncommon. Yeah, actually, they so much so that I really want not one lone tank there. Oh boy. Okay, we have 3 more units that can ship north. Is there a port they can drop in? Not really. It's probably fastest for them to deploy here. Oh, you know what's another thing is I haven't deployed a navy. I do want to deploy some kind of navy to protect the sovereignty of the South Korean waters. So this will probably be our first chance to, I mean, not our first chance, but our first moment where we really should deploy a lot of ships. And this is another thing that's been kind of like bothering me, not bothering me in a bad way, but like occupying my thoughts. What? Are we sure we really need all these escorts? Alright, I'm not gonna think about it right now. I'm just gonna grab a lot of these Robert Smith class. This is good. It's a really good class. There's not a whole lot of submarines that the South or North Koreans have, or South Koreans for that matter, but so we're just gonna grab this one. It's still a decent sub hunter. Okay, and then Alan Sumner is in a different class. Okay, good. So let's get all of these to deploy here. Now, actually, I'm gonna have them deploy over to Pearl Harbor. But a lot of these are going to run into that pathfinding error I mentioned, where they deploy and run into Mexico. So we're going to have to manually help some of these ships out. Alright, so we have a lot of Easy 8 Shermans. No, those are the ones in reserve still, I guess? Maybe. What else do we have here? This and that. Okay, those are just our... Ah, yes, we have these. Alright, so let's get... Where? By the way, what happened to... Are they still flying across the ocean? They are. How are they doing on fuel? Yeah, they have plenty. So I'm the way I do it to be conservative, I don't know exactly how the algorithm works for converting your cargo space to extra fuel. If it's exactly the same amount of additional fuel every time, like 2 times or 2.5 or 3, or if it's based on your cargo capacity. And I think it must be the latter, because transports, which don't have any cargo capacity, they don't get any additional transport range. So that's how I think it works. Anyway, these guys are coming in, and they're going to be battle group number 4. Oh, see some Soviet patrol boats in the sea over there. It is a pretty even fight. So we scrapped 2 very basic infantry. Ah, research centers are online. This is good. Okay, so now we can kind of open up some of the stuff. And by the way, how are our... Might as well get started on this research facility. These guys are still a ways away, but it doesn't matter. They're going to get there eventually, and when they do, let's have the research facility already building. And I don't even think this will be our last research facility. I quite like them. To me, you can get this many... I mean, you can get a lot more than this. Yeah, we'll probably get one in the Los Angeles region as well. Maybe one in Portland. Oh, you know what? One in Portland would make sense because I have people around. I have 2 in Seattle. We don't want to like go too crazy, but is there a military base around here? I thought there was. Oh, it's here. What's the supply look like here? That's not that great. But at the same time, 2 research centers seems like it's enough. There's aircraft production here and a naval production. Seaport. Airbase. Let's look at supply. Yeah, there's just so much good supply down here. We just have to build another one. I don't think it should be in Pasadena. We can spread it around a little bit. Well, where's our best supply? Looks like Burbank has the best supply right now. I don't know if that's... Oh, nope, more Park. Huh. Inglewood has same supply as Burbank. Might just be kind of random. A few places with... Yeah, this is all about the same, right? We can't build it in Santa Ana. Oh, wow. Fullerton has the best. Okay, Fullerton, you are the winner. Lucky you. You get to have a a research center all to yourself. We'll get our engineers over to help build that. I don't know how much that really affects words. Let's put together. Oh yes, the employment. So we're at 2.6%, and in general I want to let that number climb back up to 3 before I build new employment places. Research centers are an exception anyways, because I mean they're just so valuable, it supersedes that rule. But I don't know how much they even draw as far as employment needs. I don't think that much, really. Speaking of that labor shortage situation, it's still at 2.6. Alright, we got a lot here. I'm just going to scroll through all these as I find this the fastest way of doing it. And then just X out of the ones I don't want, and all the remaining ones, which looks like is going to be all of them, we're going to keep. Oh, they want military goods, but they want it at a terrible rate. I'm going to leave that one. I'm not going to do anything with it. Because I don't want to give them military goods at such a terrible rate, unless they're just like going to lose the war outright. We kind of want them to, if they use up their military, their military goods, supplies, right at the point when they're winning, because it does look like they are making ground up. And oh my gosh, that's a lot of infantry. So yeah, you can see the Pershings are not as good here. I mean, it would be better to have artillery, which is, fortunately or unfortunately, as you may want to see it, exactly what I gave them. Lots of artillery. Good, so we're defending that. Their units are all shifting forward slowly. Let's move in and help defend Seoul. You're ready to move, so let's move you... Let's just move forward in this direction. This area looks protected now. Let's see how these forces down here are doing. Is there any hope of you guys repairing on your own? There's like some way I got them to kind of cheese it. I don't think so. I'll just give them all a repair order. And then I think... Yep. They're going home. Forget it. Don't repair. It's not worth it. Oh well. That's fine. Alright, what do we have here? We have a Panther, which is decent, and a Bearcat, which is also decent. Oh, this is one of my recon? Yep, it is. PTR, patrol. So that's, oh, you were missing a whole bunch of those at home, too. Still haven't moved these guys out. And I'm still doing nothing with the Banshees. The Banshees are going to be home support. They're going to be home. You guys are staying here. What other units do I have lurking around? This, that, and the other. We're building our research center there. That's good. These guys have almost made it to help build that research center. Oops, see, there I go again, thinking I'm playing Europe. Oh, yeah. Yeah, our destroyers. We're here just in time to stop our destroyers from being a little bit stupid. Ah, in fact, our carriers are... we stopped them from doing the same thing. So we'll get these carriers to move back home. We wanted them to go into reserve on the west coast, and that's the reason why we're moving them all the way around. Get all these guys moved down here. That scared me. I thought that might be one of the aircraft here, and the aircraft can't make it on their own, so they do need to stay with the carrier. More rubber. I just absolutely want that rubber. Now I think there was a power situation. I'm still trying to remember. Is it petrol small? Yeah, so we're going to scrap that. We don't need the extra petrol small, and anything small is just less efficient, so it's always better to get rid of it. Unless you really, really need it. But probably unless you're playing in like a tiny country, you don't. Just get rid of it. Alright, that all looks good now. Consumer goods. So industrial goods, unfortunately, we do want industrial goods. It's like the most I know I mentioned that it makes consumer goods, but anytime you build something you're using, or even repair something, like let's say we were at war on our homeland, or we're capturing territory somewhere else, all those things, when you capture them, you need to repair them, and well, that puts quite a strain on your industrial goods. For the moment, I have to say I'm very happy that we didn't give them any military goods, and it seems like we gave them too many military units as it is. Wait, is this a sign? That could be a sign that they're going to support. Usually the forces won't come in like that and to like neutral territory or even their allied territory unless they're planning to assist in the war, so we'll have to see. And I know that I have... Oh, I don't know about that. So I'm going to decline that for now. Yes, yes, yeah. Okay, we'll take more agriculture. This is one. The only one who made it. Alright, here's another one. We'll send them in twos, that's okay. Just get somebody over there as quickly as possible. I think that these have like such a long range that we don't need to worry about. Yeah, 8,500. Yeah, we don't need to worry about them not having enough endurance to make it all the way. Yeah, so these guys are heading down there, but we can actually probably just direct them to go over here immediately. I think they'll have the range, and they might resupply in the Panama Canal. They do. Fantastic. So that's like it's like a gas station. They just drive in and get the fuel they need and keep going. So these guys are all the ones repairing. It's good to know that they're going to Wake Island, so we know where to look for them later. That's not too bad. And everyone else, see, some of them did repair. Like, just getting them to move, or whatever, I don't know what the impetus was. What was, like, the trigger. Somehow, like, just moving them seems to have gotten them, you know, to activate their repair, whatever. I like to buddy up people. I was saying this earlier, but I don't think I said it on camera. I was just talking to someone else. I was saying that, you know, this game actually does a great job of making you feel how you need so many troops to, like, maximally or optimally occupy a region. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say on the Eastern Front for Germany and the Russians during World War II, the density of forces, like, over the entire front was very small. I mean, it's a huge front, so the total number of forces was in the millions. You know, it's the biggest battlefront I think that the world has ever seen was the Eastern Front. But it didn't get felt that way because this front is, I mean, the people on the front were so loosely scattered because the front is so big that you just would need so many people. And this game gives you that feeling. You know you can fit 7 of any of the units into a hex. And you're like, okay, well, I'll just build, you know, what do I have, like 10 hexes here? Well, it's a lot more than you think. I mean, 7 times, that's still 70 units. I mean, that'd be a lot of units to transport over. How many do we have here all told? I'm just going to box select, and we will... okay, so we have 60, including all, which is probably like 30 naval stuff. It's at least, I mean, naval and air. So we have at least 3 times 6... 18. These other ones is probably like another, yeah, 6 and 6, is it? Huh. So that's almost 30 right there. I mean, that might exactly be 30. And this is actually 7, if I'm not mistaken. 4 and 3, so. Yeah, we got, if this is 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, then it's 31. We have 31 aircraft here. Oh lordy. And oh lordy, look at the time. It's already been 45 minutes. But this has been a very exciting episode. What does it look like here? Who's starting to win? I think that the main forces, like the armored heavy heart attack forces, are starting to wear out. And that is interesting. Which means that I think it might soon be time for us to get involved. And also, it's probably time for us to sell some equipment to the South Koreans. And I am thinking about Pershings. And yeah, I'm thinking about selling them pretty cheap, but let's make that decision in the next episode. So for now, I hope you enjoyed this one. I did. I really am looking forward to this series. I'm still looking forward to a time period when we can speed up time a lot. I'll take a look at the research options we have going on off camera. What do we have? We got like 60 days for the next option. For all we know, the war could be over by then, so I guess it's not pressing. Anything else I need to look into? I guess I can look into what I need to look into off camera as well. So until the next episode, thanks for watching and take care.